Noida's tragedy to Bengaluru's broken promise, two different stories that we'll be touching upon, and they're pointing to the same uncomfortable truth. The magnitude may be different, but the underlying problem is the same. These are not isolated failures. Together, they reveal how neglect and delay are failing people of the country. Let's start with Noida. Urban failure cost a young man his life. Late at night, a young professional was driving back home through what should have been a familiar urban stretch. Instead, his car plunged into a deep, water-filled construction pit. There were no barricades, the first big problem, no warning signs, no reflectors. What should have been a basic safety measure turned into a deadly omission. According to the residents, this was not an accident waiting to happen. It was negligence that had been flagged earlier and ignored each of the previous times. Authorities have now ordered investigations. They filed cases, but the larger question remains still. Why do basic safety checks only happen after lives are lost? And Noida is not an isolated case. Over the past few years, civic neglect has shown up again and again with deadly consequences, from students drowning in a flooded coaching center basement in Delhi to a gaming zone fire in Rajkot which claimed 27 lives, massive billboard collapse in Mumbai which killed 17 innocent people. These repeated tragedies raise uncomfortable questions about accountability, about enforcement and the cost of inaction. So to understand how civic neglect turns fatal and where the system keeps failing, we're first joined by Arvind Kumar Jain, former IPS officer, closely has dealt with urban governance with public safety challenges. Our first guest this morning. Good morning, sir. Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Secretary, Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India, is our second speaker who joins us this morning. Thank you to you, gentlemen, for really joining in on this very important conversation on the Breakfast Club. I want to begin with Mr. Arvind. Mr. Jain, how do you explain what's happened in Noida? We've spoken about it over the last 2 days, over and over again, what went wrong, what could have been done better. The fact of the matter is this innocent life could have been saved. This was an under construction area. It was a pit filled with water, but the manner in which it was left unbarricaded, there were no reflectors, nothing really to tell any person. Forget the foggy situation, that's obviously made matters worse, but even otherwise, no sign whatsoever of how there's danger on the other side of that wall.
Noida Authority is a very rich authority, and I think that street light should have been there, proper street light should have been there, reflectors should have been there. This builder, Lotus Valley builder, action should have been taken against this builder also. Now CM has initiated certain measures. SIT has been formed in which Commissioner Meerut and ADG Meerut zone is there, Chief Engineer PUD is there. I think they have been asked to submit report within 5 days. Action will be taken. Drastic action will be taken on its report. CM has already removed the CEO of Noida Authority. Now once CEO is removed, things will start moving in Noida. Noida, actually, some very influential people, influential officers are posted, and things are taken lightly. Now, once action has been initiated by CM, I think you will see the effect on the ground.
Jain, it's a bold step indeed. That's a given. But the fact of the matter is, this is administrative negligence.
Yes,
a mere removal of the Noida Authority CEO, can it end at that really? Why is action against officials so easy or so light in comparison to others, contractors or builders in this case? Everyone was equally responsible or should be held equally responsible.
No, action will be taken against builder also. Action will be taken against engineers also. One junior engineer has been dismissed, and action should be taken because Noida is the showpiece for UP. I have been SSP there. I have been DIG there. I know the potential of Noida, and so much of investment is coming. When so much of investment is coming, investors are coming, then you should have proper facilities for rescue operations. SDRF should also have been trained for that. Fire service people should have been also trained for that. because this drowning took place, this drama continued for almost
Yeah.
1.5 hours,
Yeah.
and they should have intervened. Father was there, father of the poor guy was there, and he was directing officials, he was requesting them. So my action should have been taken. It's a very, very unfortunate case. And now I think
But are the
people
police
will
personnel
get.
not well equipped, Mr. Jain, for
No,
everyone
no,
wondering
no.
why is it that they could not save the young man?
Uh,
For
uh,
90 minutes, he kept fighting. He was still staying put. The police team had reached the spot, perhaps some fire department officials as well. NDRF, SDRF were still on their way. But basic equipment, basic training, does that not happen?
No, not at police station level. Knowledge Park Police Station is the area, concerning area, police station of the area. They are not well equipped, and they are not trained divers and swimmers, and they are not, I think, trained for such rescue operations. Yes, few fire service personnel are trained because they are part of SDRF. SDRF is trained. SDRF should have taken command. Actually, there were this iron rods were also there when and I think that also hampered because people can't jump. There are so many iron rods all over in the pit that I don't think police people are trained for that. Very unfortunate.
A
And now
young
I think
delivery agent could jump into the water, could
yes,
try and save that man, but nobody
yes,
there.
yes.
And people, witnesses have said that people in hundreds were present there. Nobody could save that young man. And these are trained professionals, no matter to what extent, what degree, that's of course debatable. But which again is an alarm bell that we must train everyone who's out there to help people in ways more than one. That cannot be an excuse going forward, because these kind of emergency situations can happen at any point in time. I do want to go across to Dr. Krishna on that note. Dr. Krishna, let's talk about urban planning. Are there adequate safety guidelines out there when it comes to urban infrastructure, and they're not being implemented? Or to begin with, the problem lies in a concrete layout on what should be followed as normal safety measures?
In respect of, good morning everyone. In respect of road safety, there are very clear-cut, elaborate guidelines from the Indian Road Congress. And one guideline is called the IRC SP 67. It is for road signages and what kind of signages should be there and so on. And the second is the guideline number 88 for audit, road safety audit. So there are enough guidelines. It's a question of mindset, and the people have to implement it. And you see that
are there enough guidelines for under construction areas, Dr. Krishna? So there are road safety guidelines. What about urban infrastructure?
No, I'm coming to that. So as far as urban infrastructure is part of that only. When you design a road, then the road should have what kind of infrastructure the road should have. It is called street infrastructure. And the signages are of all different kinds. Mandatory signages, signage for mandatory requirement like you can't drive more than this speed or so on. And there are signages for welfare and comfort that don't go this side, don't go that side. And there are other things also informative like hospital so much distance and restaurant that distance. All those signages are there. And the reflective tapes are there, which work 24/7. In the night and day you can see them. Doesn't cost much. The reflective tapes do not cost much. So it all depends on systems are in position, arrangements are in position, but only thing is somebody has to take charge. For that, you can have all system, artificial intelligence, you can have guidelines, manuals, and above all money. Enough resources are available. If you see the budget allocation for urban development sector, in the last 20 years, JNNURM started in 2006-07, and till now, after that Amrut program came and Smart City Mission came, and all that put together in the last 18 years, so much money has come. Even if you convert into net present value, it will be 4 times than what was given in the last 50 years. So there's so much money has come to urban development sector, unprecedented. Above all, people are willing to pay taxes. There is hardly any major defaulter in property taxation or whatever tax.
So you're saying the problem is not bad policies, it's weaker implementation.
Absolutely. The guys who are heading that, they have to be given a shock treatment. For that, there can be no manual. For example, the Noida CEO should be suspended straight away. there is no way the transfer is not going to help the matter. I mean, because every other day in the rainy season, the roads are full of potholes, street light don't work, and people go on tripping, accidents happen. So it only becomes a matter of news for the day and for the night. Next day again life goes on with the same potholes and so on. So what manuals are required? Enough, as I said, enough money, enough technology, enough guidelines. So a shock treatment bureaucracy at ground level, it requires to do their job as per the manuals. There are SOPs. Somebody has to inspect the roads. There are manual for inspection of roads. Who is inspecting the roads? So actual ground level inspections, if they don't happen, then no technology will help. People are now using technology for personal glorification. On WhatsApp, they have done on Twitter, I have achieved this, I have achieved that. But on ground, everybody must inspect every piece of road, all street lights should be checked, a certificate must come. So in fact, I would say that this should be taken as an example. The life lost should be taken as an example, and the government of India should ask all state governments to confirm whether the street infrastructure is there in position or not, and if they don't give, then money from the government of India should be stopped forthwith for all urban programs. Because if the life is not safe, if the life is not safe, then what is the purpose of creating infrastructure? I think
And
this is
why
a very
why do we wake up and smell
situation
the coffee
in bad
only
situation,
after a life is lost? Why are we not really plugging in on the risks when they're
Absolutely.
clearly visible? Mr. Jain, how do you explain this on any level?
Yes, please.
How do you explain this on any level that the residents in the area in Noida have spoken vocally of how multiple occasions in the past they took it upon themselves to reach out to the authorities, lodge complaints, say this is a problem. Accidents have taken place already in this one area, one under construction site. Who is to be asked those questions and who should action be taken against here? Is the problem on multiple levels, starting with the civic authorities, then your local police there, Noida Authority? Who is to be held accountable?
I think CEO or some very senior person in Noida Authority should meet people for the redressal of grievances. They should know what people are thinking about the civic amenities which have been provided. Once they come to know, they should swing into action, and action should be taken on the ground. Engineers should be deployed there. I am told that after transfer of CEO, people are in the field, and now they are taking stock of all such spots, and action is being taken. This should have been taken earlier, and before this person's life was lost. A very unfortunate incident has happened in Noida, but now I think they will learn a lesson, and they will take action. Redressal grievances, meeting people, meeting the residents of Noida. Generally, people in Noida are very, very cooperative, and whether they are industrialists or resident welfare associations, but there should be some senior officer deputed. Either CEO should take this responsibility on his own shoulders, or deputed to some number two, that he should meet people. He should meet people for 1 or 2 hours, actually, redressal grievances, and going to the spot and meeting people. That is very important. Only then you will come to know what people are facing and what all is to be done.
Dr. Krishna, really taking the cue and putting out the next question to you, where does the coordination you think then break between the center, the state and local urban bodies? Because in this case, it's not as though the BJP or the Congress were in power in the state and the center. I mean, it was a BJP government. Things should not be that difficult if that's the one excuse people are looking at. But where do you think essentially the coordination problem lies?
Well, I think the state governments have to think seriously as to what is happening to the cities from governance point of view. You take the case of Noida. Other day I was on another channel where the co-panelist was, because I made the point that there is a district road safety committee, and the district road safety committee is to identify, among other things, the black spots. It has to review the spots where accidents have taken place in the last 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, and then find out what action has to be taken. And I said that the district road safety committee should be questioned as to what all they did all these months. So by chance, one of the panelists was a member of the district road safety committee. He said that now that my panelist has said this point, let me clarify. I am a member of the committee of the Noida, and he said that this committee, the Noida Authority, doesn't send anybody. It seems that there's chaos in the administration, and he said we go on recommending that this is a black spot, there is a black spot, and nobody comes, nobody takes note. So what is happening is that the government is creating institution after institution. The municipal corporation becomes a bystander in many critical situations. In many critical, municipal corporation ends up becoming only the scavenger. Their job is only to manage the solid waste, and somewhere streets, smaller streets also. Otherwise, major streets are with this department, state PWD, or with some highway authority and so on. And this is with the state electricity department or the BESCOM or district, the electricity company and so on. Water supply with the water board. So, and Noida Authority itself is a powerful body, the municipal local body. What is the local body? What is the representation of people? So the governance structure has to be seen. In the confusion, what is happening is at the ground level. If you are a common man, you don't know whom to complain.
Yeah,
because if you complain that it doesn't belong to me, that department, this department, yeah, where to go? So therefore, it is high time. And in the confusion, officers are concerned about their welfare only. Ground level, the disconnect between the common man and the common man's problem on one hand, and the governance structure on the other hand. So city governance has to be strengthened.
Yeah.
It requires a big heart, because big level authorities are there. Noida Authority, this water board authority, that authority, and police commissioner and so on and so forth.
The easiest thing, Dr. Krishna, is to pin the blame onto the builder and the contractor. That it is the builder's responsibility to ensure those safety checks are in place. Yes, it is. But if it's not in place, if proper rules and regulations are not being followed, there has to be a crackdown. Someone has to pull up people who are committing wrong. That's where the problem really starts shaping up and starts escalating. Gentlemen, stay on with us. This is one part of the problem, one aspect to civic apathy that we are bringing to the table today. But there's also lots of other details that are trickling in from other parts of the country, from roads to railways, story of urban apathy repeating itself. Let's talk about Bengaluru. The Bengaluru suburban rail project was announced as a solution to one of India's worst urban mobility crises. A project meant to decongest roads, cut commute times, and give the city a modern public transport backbone. Now, the project was started initially in 1983, but years later, large parts of that promise remain just on paper. Finally, the project got a formal clearance much later. The ambitious 148-kilometer Bengaluru suburban rail project was approved by the Union Cabinet in 2020 and was originally scheduled to be completed by October 2026. Now, that deadline has been pushed to March 2030, a delay of nearly 41 months from the original timeline. Deadlines have been pushed back repeatedly, land acquisition delays, coordination failures between agencies, and stalled contracts have slowed progress to a crawl. What was supposed to ease daily life for lakhs of commuters has instead become another symbol of delay and indecision. The impact is not just administrative, it is lived daily in traffic jams, longer work days, and rising frustration. So what has stalled the Bengaluru suburban rail project, and what will it take to finally deliver what was promised to the commuters? Do remember, in all of this, another 41 long months commuters are going to be left inconvenienced. So to take this forward, we're also being joined by Sandeep Anirudhan, convener of Citizens Agenda for Bengaluru. Rather two guests continue to stay on with us. Dr. Krishna, Mr. Jain, I'll come to you in just a bit. I do want to go to Sandeep and understand what the situation is looking like. Sandeep, how cheated do people feel? Can I just start with that? Because these promises were made close to 3 decades ago. When they were first made, this commitment first came through, it was almost 3 decades ago. 2020, finally people thought, okay, by 2026, we're going to have a local rail system in our city. Pretty much the need of the hour, given the traffic volumes in Bengaluru. It takes nowhere less than 60 to 90 minutes. That's the bare minimum to, travel from the heart of the city to the airport, for instance. Now, with this deadline being pushed to 2030, what are people making of it?
Hello, good morning, and thanks for having me on your show. Firstly, Soral, nobody is actually disappointed here, because when Prime Minister Modi ji laid the foundation stone and announced that the project will be completed in 40 months, there was nothing but laughter here. Nobody believed it. All of us said it will not complete even in 40 years. And I'll give you a reason why. The first plan for a railway in Bengaluru was mooted in 1960 as a circular railway. It didn't see the light of the day. In fact, there was a wonderful body called the Metropolitan Transport Council back then. It was under the Mysore government. And when Bengaluru officially became the capital of Karnataka, for some strange reason that was dismantled. And then we don't have that unified transport planning body for the city. What is worse is, in 1983, the Wrights actually put together a report for a suburban railway in Bengaluru. In 1983. It could have, the interesting part of that proposal was, it planned to use the existing rail infrastructure. We have railway lines running across 70% of the city already, and this is 100 years old. All we have to do is put trains on them. But it was not done. And you know why? Because it was not juicy enough. All it would have taken is about 6 crores per kilometer to set up a full-fledged suburban railway in Bengaluru. So nobody was interested because
But was
cheap.
that the need of the hour back in the day, Sandeep? Because
It always was. Bengaluru has always had traffic issues. We don't have a mass rapid transit system. Look at the growth. We had about 40 lakh population in the 1980s. Now we are touching 1.5 crores.
But that 40 lakh was nothing in comparison to a Mumbai, let's say. I think
that's
that's where the gap lies.
Yeah. That is true. But the problem is Bengaluru grew from a very small, sleepy town to a huge metropolis in a very rapid pace. So the problem was we never had mass rapid transit, and there was no imagination among the bureaucrats here on how a metropolis should handle its mobility. We were so focused on, using roads for transport. And this could have been corrected, and I'll tell you why. The Constitution was amended in 1992 to include the 74th Amendment, which prescribes that the city should have a Metropolitan Planning Committee, which is the planning authority. Now, why this Metropolitan Planning Committee is very important, also in the context of Gurgaon, I'll tell you why. Because this is the single agency which is mandated to have all bodies under it. You can have central agencies, you can have state agencies, and you can have city agencies as part of the Metropolitan Planning Committee. No other body allows this. So you can resolve all problems in terms of coordination. But it is 33 years, we still don't have the planning body. And since we don't have planning body, the maximum growth in Bengaluru happened from late 90s on, when the IT boom happened. If we had this planning body, we would have had proper master planning, we would have had proper coordination. Instead, what we have had is unplanned development and a total mess. If we had the MPC, we could have coordinated the central government agencies and the state government agencies and the railways. This did not happen.
So we've been essentially sitting on a problem, waiting for it to explode slowly, and that's what's happening. That's the situation.
Funny part is, we have the solution.
Yeah.
The Constitution has given us a solution.
Okay, I want to understand if Dr. Krishna
But we've
agrees
not
to
done
that. Dr. Krishna, interestingly, if we just go through a little bit of data and stats, we're learning on an average close to 70,000 cars are traveling to the airport on an everyday basis. That's a big number in itself. It could be far more. This is just official data. Now, with that kind of a number, with traffic congestion making headlines day in and out, and the kind of reputation that Bengaluru is now enjoying in the country, how strictly does an urban planning need to shape up the way it should to contain this problem? And where do we stand really in reality?
Okay, it's a good question, and let me tell you a little bit about myself and with reference to Bangalore. I was an officer of Karnataka cadre of IAS, and I was Bangalore Metropolitan Region Development Authority Commissioner also.
Lovely.
And so I know a little bit more also about the subject, and little bit, not that I know everything. But I should tell you that a master plan has been prepared for the Bangalore Metropolitan Region, which covers a large area, and a very fine satellite town ring road has been planned. It is STRR, Satellite Town Ring Road, which will connect all the towns surrounding Bangalore in a ring fashion. We connecting the main city through the radials. So the Satellite Town Ring Road is under motion now. Already it is being taken up. And as you see already, the satellite towns like Kanakpura and Magadi and so on, they are also flourishing now. So what I see is that this also is an addition to that. this suburban rail project, which is in X shape. It is an X shape connecting, the satellite towns from one to other end through the Bangalore city. It's a very ambitious and nice project. Along with the satellite town ring road project and the IR internal, this internal ring road project, the concentric roads have been planned and implemented also some, and some are under implementation. So it's very good project, and we should not feel disheartened. That is a positive side of it. On the negative side, yes, there is a failure of the governance in handling this particular project you are referring. It's a wonderful project. It will definitely allow people to move to farther places with connectivity to the city when they require. And I am not sure why, because I read here and there, checked with people as to why the project is not moving as fast as it should. It seems there is apathy only, there is lack of focus on that. And otherwise there is no good reason. The land acquisition is a challenge. What has happened is that now this new Land Acquisition Act, it has become a mess also. It has created a lot of mess. It was hijacked by the activists. The land acquisition was hijacked by activists. As a result, what happened that in dream it is a very nice project.
So are you saying that's one of the biggest reasons that the project so far has not seen the light of the day?
Yes, lack of land availability. That is why the L&T has withdrawn. The L&T has officially declared that because land has not been handed over, they are not able to move with the project. And so out of 450 acres of land required, 100 and odd acres are to be acquired from the common man. So this requires a deft handling. It requires consultation with the landowners in a constructive and in a way that you take everybody into confidence. We cannot change the law immediately. The law is there, good or bad. That new land acquisition law is in position.
And Dr. Krishna, that's exactly why promises should be made keeping realistically the target in mind on when is it truly achievable. That's exactly what didn't happen here. And as Sandeep was pointing out, to begin with, people really did not have expectations that by 2026 they will see an effective suburban rail system in the city. Mr. Jain, I do want to come to you for the land acquisition problem that Dr. Krishna spoke of. Where do you think law enforcement agencies and civic authorities can then play a huge role in solving this problem and striking that balance? Because at the end of the day, people will benefit from this kind of a rail system in the city.
It is the job of the law enforcement agencies to remove the encroachments, but they should get a green signal from the top that they have to do it. And they have to do it whatever may be the obstacles, because government in Karnataka, what I feel is it's a very rich state, and so many popular measures have been taken by the government, Congress government there. So they have budget issues now. So if you don't want to take action on such prestigious projects, PM has reviewed the progress in Pragati and he has pointed it out. I think there should be progress. The area which is under encroachment, it should be removed with the help of RPF, with the help of GRP, with the help of local police. Whether paramilitary forces have to be deployed, area should be got cleared, and it should be handed over to the K Rights, the company which is taking up the construction. That is why L&T left it. I am told that 1,670 crores had been allocated for land compensation, as Mr. Krishna said. But now the cost has crossed 5,000 crores. So the cost project has already crossed 17,000 crores. So if you keep on delaying it, costs will go up, and encroachments will become permanent houses, and then it will become all the more difficult. So government should take action. I think there is not proper coordination between railways and state government and local enforcement agencies. There should be meetings for this prestigious project, because all of us have faced these traffic snarls at Bengaluru going to Kempagoda airport.
Yeah.
So it should have been taken up long time back, and it's a very prestigious project, as Mr. Krishna said, and it should be implemented. And
Okay. I'm just left with the last 30-40 seconds, Sandeep, very quickly to you. what kind of a role are citizen groups playing currently in expediting stalled infrastructure projects like the suburban railway network? Because as Dr. Krishna was saying, there are a lot of activists who are also taking or playing a huge role in the encroachment problem as it persists, and is one of the big reasons why the project has not been able to see the light of the day so far.
No, the land issue is not the actual issue for this. Actually, the problem is one of technological understanding. Now, there is a serious vacuum in thinking. You can actually start a suburban rail service on the existing rail network because it is underutilized. All you need is automatic signaling. And Bengaluru being the IT capital of India, the railways are so backward here, they don't have automatic signaling. If you have automatic signaling, you can have a train every 3 minutes, which is happening in Bombay already. Bombay, in every line, you have a train running every 3 minutes. In Bengaluru, in every railway network you'll see 3 trains running in an hour. So basically,
which is the problem in Delhi as well, is why people don't opt for local trains.
If you fix that gap, but
trust the metros.
Suburban trains in almost every line. Why can't we do it in Bangalore?
Dr. Krishna, do you
Suburban
agree?
rail.
Can the current system be put to use effectively, and that's really as simple as that?
No, see, the current system has to be augmented, there is no doubt about it. But this new project is on a different platform. It's a wonderful project. And it has to be implemented, it shall be implemented, I am sure. But the people who are steering it have to be there, with mindset of doing things. They have now got a new CEO last month, and I am sure he will do it is now a challenge of leadership. You see, today in governance in India, I think what is lacking is not money, not people's cooperation. People are cooperating, beyond expectation at every stage. What we are lacking is leadership at local level. Because it's a local level, the officers, their leadership, their motivation to work, their dedication, that is what is missing now. I think there is something wrong in the governance at the grassroots level.
Sandeep wants to very quickly come in. I'm running out of time, Sandeep. Quickly, yes. 20 seconds to you. Yes.
See, Sonal, the bottlenecks in land acquisition,
go ahead.
Railway land in Bengaluru is encroached by serving ministers. People who are in the present cabinet, their real estate companies have encroached on railway land which is not being vacated. So this government is not going to cooperate in setting up the rail terminal. Second thing is, politicians and bureaucrats have a habit of circumventing. See, the problem with Bengaluru is we don't have a capacity to plan. We don't have a capacity to govern. There are prescribed instruments for it. You need mechanisms, right? You can't just, every IAS officer comes, he will set up a project on his own, he will create something of his own. When he's gone, it dies. There are prescribed mechanisms which all of them avoid. Why don't we have a metropolitan planning committee for the last 33 years? The likes of Mr. Krishna will not answer that. This is what I don't like about a bureaucrat. Why can't you stick by the constitution? Do it how it has to be done.
And besides, to begin with, even before that, let's talk about leadership. What Dr. Krishna also said, leadership.
So
these are people who've been voted to power by Bengalurians, and imagine stalling projects that are going to help ease their life, help them commute better in shorter period of time. So there shouldn't be a question mark really there, and this should be expedited no matter what. Thank you, gentlemen. We're running out of time. Sandeep, we will keep touching upon this, because if this is happening in 2030 and just going by that figure, let's see. Let's hope for the best.
The short answer to that is follow the money.
Okay, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us this morning. Appreciate you sharing your point of view. Heading into a very